Have you ever wondered why some people, who seem to have nothing in their hands, still manage to make a profound impact, earn the trust of others, and gradually build strong communities around them? While others, with talent and knowledge, remain stuck in a small circle, unable to connect, unable to grow? Perhaps the difference lies here. Some try to become the center of everything, while others know how to become a conduit, a bridge through which value can flow. Welcome to the Inner World Podcast, where Liam Johnson shares deep reflections on inner life, core values, and human development from the roots. Here, you'll find simple yet profound philosophies that help you build a grounded mindset, strong connections, and a truly meaningful life. In this series of 21 conversations on the journey of understanding the inner self, we'll peel back layers step by step, not to know more, but to live more deeply. And today is one of the most important sessions as we explore the reality triangle of appreciation, gratitude, and action. Recognize 9 types of people around us, and most importantly, discover the formula for building a strong organization through authentic human beings. Most of us often talk about strategies, technology, and models. But today we'll talk about something few pay attention to: how to see people clearly, appreciate them properly, and build effectively. Because people are the seeds, the tools, and also the outcomes. With the right people, you have everything. That's why today's content not only helps you see who should be close to you, but also shows you how to turn every relationship into a part of a life strategy with purpose. Together, we'll explore a profound inner triangle where emotions transform into guiding strength, how to apply the energy of gratitude to see clearly and interact wisely with each group of people around you, and finally, a powerful formula for building a sustainable organization, not based on money or fame, but on people with strong inner values. At the end of this video, I'll share the most important insight: why investing in people is the most long-term profitable strategy you'll ever know. Stay until the end, because that's the key to going far without losing your way. And now, let's begin from within, because every strong organization, every lasting endeavor, begins with one person who knows how to appreciate, to be grateful, and to connect the right way. So let us explore a concept called human connection. Human connection is the precious bond between people that creates opportunities for awareness, learning, and life transformation. Specifically, human connection refers to those who introduce and guide others to the path of understanding the inner self, creating true joy. In this context, human connection is not just a bridge, but a seed of destiny, playing a vital role in opening the journey of raising awareness for others. This is clearly reflected in the gratitude that learners express toward the connections who brought them to the course, as a way of acknowledging those who helped them step onto the path of self-development. In short, human connection is a meaningful link that bridges the spiritual and inner development realms. It is a key factor in life transformation through knowledge and awakening. Now begins the first part of today's inner journey, which also forms the foundation of all transformation: the reality triangle of appreciation and gratitude. When we speak of appreciation and gratitude, most of us think of an emotion, a moment of heartfelt feeling or a sincere expression. But in truth, appreciation and gratitude are not just emotions, they are abilities, a deep state of living that, when understood and practiced correctly, can transform your entire life. Based on the 3 corners of the reality triangle: information, energy, matter. I want you to imagine a triangle. Each corner represents a dimension of reality where appreciation and gratitude must be expressed. Information. This is the emotional awareness, where you recognize the reason for the existence of a person, an object, or an event in your life. This is when you no longer take things for granted. Energy. This is the living state, where you eliminate apathy, indifference, and rekindle a sense of sacredness, even in the smallest things. Matter. This is the tangible action, where you use, behave, and interact with people and things according to their true usefulness and value. Information generates energy, and energy manifests into matter. Your inner emotional resonance forms your state of being, which in turn dictates your actions. The question for you is, where are you within this triangle? And from which corner have you activated your energy of appreciation and gratitude? Imagine a simple example. Are you using a pen right now? And if so, are you using it for its true purpose? If a pen was made to write and you use it to scratch your back, then you're losing appreciation. But if you use it to write things of value, then you are showing gratitude, not through words, but through action. That is the material expression of appreciation and gratitude. When you use something in line with its purpose and function, you are showing gratitude without saying a word. Inner emotional resonance is the root of information. Why is that? Let me ask you honestly. How many times have you seen a street cleaner and thought to yourself, that's just their job? You didn't hate, you didn't look down, but you didn't appreciate either. That's when taking things for granted steals away gratitude. Entitlement breeds ingratitude. Think about this. When we do something for others and they take it as a given, and one day it stops, resentment arises. Because true appreciation begins when you erase the mindset of entitlement. In the example above, when you see a laborer and recognize their role and value, you don't need to say, I am grateful for you. But deep inside, a heartfelt awareness is born. And that is the informational expression of appreciation and gratitude, the place where all awakening begins. Appreciation is not in saying, I'm grateful for my health. It's in whether you maintain that health or not. Do you drink water when you're thirsty, or before you're thirsty? Do you eat well regularly, or only when you're sick do you worry about nutrition? Those who appreciate will possess. Those who possess without appreciation will lose. And this applies to everything: health, relationships, assets, opportunities. If you don't appreciate them, they will leave you. If you do, you will begin to keep, develop, and use them to create value in your life and others. Now I want you to envision something bigger than yourself. Imagine a nation where people in agriculture, education, technology, healthcare all understand their value and live with a grateful mindset. A person becomes an agricultural billionaire, not just because they're rich, but because they make the country greener, healthier. A person becomes a scientific doctor, not just for titles, but to research and save millions of lives. Do you appreciate their presence in our society? When you see someone's significance and usefulness in the community, you have activated appreciation and gratitude, and from then on, you won't see them with indifference anymore. So, I have this advice for you. If you are a parent, see your child not as someone who must obey you, but as a life who came to help you grow. If you are in business, see your employees, partners, and customers as part of a meaningful journey, not just tools for profit. If you are young and seeking direction, see those ahead of you as mirrors and learn from them wholeheartedly. Because when you are truly grateful, you no longer live alone. You live with everything and everyone. The truth is, gratitude does not require emotion, but it does require awareness. Here's a truth I want you to reflect on. You won't always feel emotional, but if you still have awareness, you still have the ability to appreciate. Sometimes we no longer feel moved by what surrounds us, but if you take time to sit down and analyze a pen, a meal, a hug, you will find its purpose, usefulness, and significance. And from that, the energy of appreciation begins to grow. Remember, this appreciation is speed. Gratitude is direction. When you appreciate something, you act faster, more decisively. When you are grateful, you move in the right direction, because you never forget why you started. Dear friend, appreciation is the key to ownership. Gratitude is the key to enduring meaning. We'll meet again in the next part, where you'll learn how to apply this intellectual energy to people, each person around you, each connection you hold. Because when you can recognize the 9 types of people around you, you're not just living, you're illuminating the path of life for yourself and for others. So once you've learned to appreciate the seemingly smallest things, like a pen, a glass of water, or your very breath, you have entered the first depth of appreciation and gratitude, the reality triangle. But that's just the beginning. Because if you stop at objects, at emotions, at the still things, your journey is incomplete. The next step is applying that appreciative energy to people. And that is where your life begins to change in a powerful, lasting, and irreversible way. Appreciating people is the art of discernment and proper interaction. Do you know why many people lose important relationships in their lives? Not because they are bad, not because they are ungrateful, but because they can't tell who is who. Someone who guides you through hardship, you call them a good person. Someone who teaches you about your inner self, you call them insightful. Someone who gives you a financial opportunity, you call it luck. But in the system of appreciation and gratitude, everyone has a clear role. And if you don't recognize it correctly, you will never act correctly. And if you don't act correctly, you are unintentionally denying their value. And when you do that, they will gradually drift away from you. That's why you need to identify the 9 types of people in order to treat them with proper and deep appreciation. Let us see more clearly from the wisdom of those who came before. There are 9 types of people, and if they appear in your life, you need to learn to appreciate them not with words, but with awareness. 1 is sage, the one who possesses exceptional wisdom, virtue, and behavior. They teach not with words, but by presence. 2 is noble, the one who shows up just when you're in trouble. They don't appear often, but every time is life-changing. 3 is connector, the one who links you to opportunities, resources, and people. They are the bridge, not the destination. 4 is benefactor, the one who brings you money, financial support, and material resources. They are the lifeblood of growth. 5 is talent, the capable companion who helps you execute ideas, manage organizations, and get things done. 6 is master, the one who enlightens your thinking, helping you shift your mindset and thus your destiny. 7 is teacher, the one who provides you knowledge, methods, and skills. They are the roots of your profession and expertise. 8 is expert, the one with deep specialization who helps you solve specific problems in life. 9 is virtuous friend, the one who inspires you to be kinder, more compassionate, and more sincere. And the question is, how many of these people do you have in your life? Do you recognize them? And are you appreciating them in the right way? The difference of the wise is that they know how to classify relationships. You cannot treat a master the same way you treat a talent. You cannot expect the same from a virtuous friend as you do from a benefactor. Gratitude requires wisdom. And wisdom begins when you can classify the roles people play in your life. Someone who hurt you might actually be a master, sent to teach you forgiveness. Someone who appeared only once may be a noble who helped you survive a storm. If you don't recognize them correctly, you will resent them, and you'll lose the most precious connection of your life. Even those who hurt you, you must be grateful for. This is the greatest lesson. One of the deepest expressions of appreciation and gratitude is to be grateful to those who caused you pain. Not because you enjoy the pain, but because you understand it is the very pain that helped you grow, become resilient, and have a mind as strong as a rock. But it's not about being grateful to them as people, because then the pain will keep coming. It's precisely being grateful for the lessons they gave, the lessons that made you stronger. Gratitude is not just for the good. Gratitude is the light that shines into the dark, so you can see how far you've come. There is one thing I want to say to you. True appreciation is the path to lasting ownership. Or in other words, appreciation leads to possession. Gratitude leads to forever. If you have a good life partner, a trustworthy colleague, a friend who listens, and you don't appreciate them enough, you will lose them. And once they're gone, you can't go back, can't replace them, can't duplicate them. But if you appreciate them, if you recognize who is talent, who is connector, who is noble, you will have enduring connections. Because appreciation is building, gratitude is nurturing. So, send a heartfelt thank you to the one who believed in you when you had nothing. Invite someone who once helped you for a simple meal, just to say, thank you for being there. Acknowledge the role of every person on your team, not by their achievements, but by their inner value. You'll be surprised to see. A word of gratitude to the right person at the right time can change their destiny. And when you change someone's destiny, you are changing your own journey. Dear friend, life's journey is not just about accumulation, it's about recognition. Recognizing who came, who gave, who lifted you up. And more than that, recognizing yourself. Who have I been in someone else's life? Have I truly appreciated anyone deeply enough? And am I interacting with each relationship as an awakened person, or merely reacting? If you've ever missed out on someone precious simply because you didn't recognize their role, if you've ever ignored an opportunity just because it came at the wrong time, then today you can start again. Start with classification. Start with acknowledgement. Start with appreciation, not because others deserve it, but because you have the wisdom to see their value. You may not control who leaves your life, but you can choose who you will appreciate before it's too late. And that is the next step in the mindful life journey that you and I are walking together. A strong organization does not begin with a goal. It begins with people. So how do you build a strong, enduring organization? The answer is always this: where you start matters less than who you start with. You might have the perfect plan, you might have a grand vision, but without the right people, it's all just a draft that will never become reality. An organization is not an office, not a logo, not a business model. An organization is people, and the quality of the organization is an honest reflection of the quality of the people within it. We need to realize each person is a foundational brick. Do you want to build a solid house? You can't choose hollow bricks. You can't rush to plaster the walls without checking the foundation. The same goes for an organization. Each person in the organization is a brick. A responsible person is a firm foundation. A person with the right mindset is a steady pillar. A competent person is a straight wall. And if you want to go far, build people first, then build the plan. You might ask, why is my organization not growing even though it has enough resources? Why do many people join, but just as many leave? Because you haven't built the core human connection. Those are the people who understand the vision, are committed long-term, act based on values, not just benefits. Once you have 3 such people, you can create 30. With 30, you can grow to 300. And if you have 300 right people, you never need to worry about the future of your organization. Maybe your organization doesn't lack people. It lacks people who are conscious about building the organization. The truth is, many places have crowds, but few who actually contribute to real building. Many people work, but not many carry the weight. You need people who don't ask, "What does the organization give me?" but ask, "What can I give to the organization?" Such people are the steel core of every organization. Not flashy, but enduring. Not loud, but solid. And you must also recognize this: no one is born ready. People must be nurtured. Most of the people you want in your organization are not here yet. But don't. People are not to be found. They are to be nurtured. You may spend 3 years training an ordinary person into a resilient team member. But those 3 years will save you 30 years of struggle. A strong organization doesn't look for perfect people. A strong organization creates the right people. The right people are the greatest appreciating asset. Every piece of equipment will wear out. Every office will eventually change. But a well-nurtured person will keep producing value for life. They carry organizational culture, organizational spirit, organizational belief. And they pass it on without being forced, without needing hefty rewards. They are infused with the culture. They live for the organization, not just in the organization. This is a tough challenge, but the most worthy investment: building people. In every strategy document, I always ask, who will execute this strategy? And if there is no clear answer, I stop. Because no matter how good a strategy is, without someone to carry it out, it's just words on paper. And people don't appear out of nowhere. They need to be planted, nurtured, and tested by fire. An organization is a mirror of its leader, and a leader is someone who builds people. You cannot demand loyalty from your team if you haven't invested the time to understand them. You cannot expect people to commit if you don't have a plan to develop them. A true leader does not ask who can do this. A true leader asks who deserves the chance to learn how to do this. An organization with 1,000 people, but 999 are just waiting for orders, is not a strong organization. An organization with 10 people, but 8 are proactive, understand the vision, and act on values, Vowel has the power to change the world. You want to build a sustainable organization? Remember this: build people first. Everything else will fall into place. Because with the right people, the organization will soar. With the wrong people, every strategy becomes meaningless. At Inner World Podcast, we don't just share insights to elevate inner awareness. These are foundational truths where all growth begins with people. And that, dear friend, is the deepest foundation of every organization. Not the product, not the market share, but the quiet individuals who lay each brick of the organization every day. When we recognize the value of the human connections in our lives, those who silently open the doors to knowledge and transformation, we also begin to see the powerful ripple effect of a well-timed introduction, a meaningful share. It is not just a small gesture, but a timely blessing that can change someone's life. If you've felt something meaningful on this journey, pause for a moment and reflect. Is there someone in your life who might need a new path, a light to help them return to themselves? If so, you don't need to do anything grand. Simply share this video, just as a human connection once shared it with you. And if you truly feel this is a value worth walking with long-term, consider subscribing to the channel, but only if you genuinely wish to continue the journey of understanding the inner self. Like the video if you feel it brought something worth appreciating, not for the algorithm, but as a quiet thank you to the one who created it, in support of the team behind it. Because spreading value does not lie in noise, but in sincere intention when we choose to act. Thank you truly for being here, as part of this loving stream of human connection.